So, this is the Idris, the monster, the myth, the ship that so many of us dreamed of commanding one day. And now that day is here. Kind of. Back when it was just concept art, the Idris was almost a legend. Something too big, too ambitious, too Star Citizen. And yet here it is, sitting in a hangar, ready for us to fly. I wanted to wait before talking about it, let the launch excitement fade, give myself time to live in the ship, not just show it off, but use it, see where it shines and where it doesn't. Because if there's one thing I've learned with this ship, it's this. The Idris is a reality check. A massive, beautiful, ambitious reality check. Let's start with what it gets right, because there is a lot to appreciate. The Idris isn't just a ship, it's a statement. It's the first time we've had something on this scale that actually functions within the live game, and that's huge. It opens the door to so many possibilities, massive fleet ops and battles, naval style gameplay, event hosting, large scale industrial ops, and even just cinematic moments or roleplay. This isn't just a ship you can run truly solo. This thing demands cooperation, it demands planning, and in that way it turns Star Citizen into something else entirely. It's not just your ship, it's your team's ship, your org's flagship, and that dynamic changes everything compared to what we have had in the game previously. There's something special about walking the halls with your crew, seeing everyone at their stations, loading gear into the cargo hold, prepping fighters on the hangar deck. Even just sharing the space, it creates a feeling of a living world, and in Star Citizen, that feeling is gold. But then you start to notice the seams, the gaps between what exists physically and what exists in gameplay. There are entire areas of this ship that you'll pass by and think, oh wow, I forgot this was even here, because so little of it is actually functional. There's the brig that, while functional, serves no real purpose without the gameplay loops available to utilise it outside of roleplay. The mess hall is big enough to cater to the entire crew, but there's no way to prepare or store food here. Aboard the ship there is significant sleeping quarters for the crew, but they can't all bedlog on your ship yet. The list goes on and on. It's a ship that looks like it should do 100 different things, but in reality, it does maybe 5. It feels like a set piece from a movie that hasn't been fully written yet. And I don't say that as a complaint, well, not entirely. It's just the state of the game at the moment. The Idris is ready, but the systems it needs aren't. I have heard that this version of the Idris we have now is not the version originally intended for release, and that will come after Squadron 42 apparently. How much of that is true, I don't know for sure. And that brings me to what the Idris really represents. It's not just a capital ship, it's a reminder. You walk through it and you see all these hints of future gameplay and realise how many mechanics are still missing from the game. Things like damage control and hull repair, ship-wide power and life support management, proper fleet command tools, engineering, fire management, just so many different things. The Idris is a shell of dreams, and right now most of those dreams are still on paper. But here's the kicker, that doesn't make the ship bad, it just makes it early. And maybe that's the most honest way to look at it. This ship is early access inside an early access game. That said, let's talk about power, because when the Idris does come online fully armed and crewed, it becomes a monster. The aftermarket kits turn it into a floating sledgehammer of power. That laser for the K kit, you feel it when it fires, you see it tear through shields like they're paper and it's inescapable. The torpedoes on the T kit are huge and strike fear into any pilot. The railgun on the base M variant hits like a truck, and there's nothing more satisfying than seeing that thing land. I've had moments in the Idris where I knew without a doubt that no one in the area wanted to tangle with us. Other ships would scatter, people would call for backup. You become the objective, and that is addictive. And honestly, that feeling, that rare, raw dominance and becoming the in-game boss, it's hard to find in most MMOs. The Idris really does deliver on that. But power alone isn't what makes the Idris special. It's the crew experience that elevates it. Some of my most unforgettable sessions have been in the ship, not just because of the combat, because of the coordination and the teamwork that it demands. Calling out enemies, redirecting shield power, manning turrets, scrambling to get to fight it out of the hangar. Everyone has a role, and when it all clicks, it's like running a live set piece from a sci-fi film. Even during the downtime, everything feels cinematic. Standing on the bridge while the Stanton star rises over a planet, sitting in the briefing room talking about the next operation, watching the jump wormhole open to Pyro from the CIC. This ship turns gameplay into shared storytelling, and that's where it shines the most. So is it worth it? I mean, if you're looking for raw gameplay value, systems, loops, daily use, the honest answer is not yet. You can't fully live in the Idris, you can't operate it like a real battleship, it's still waiting for the game to catch up. But if you're thinking long term, if you're part of an org or a group that wants to build something bigger, if you value moments over mechanics right now, then yes, it's absolutely worth it. Because the Idris isn't a daily driver, it's a moment maker. And in a game like Star Citizen, that might be the most valuable thing of all. Making those memories with friends and org members, it's priceless. So to sum it all up, the Idris, it's incomplete, but it's not disappointing. The Idris has really opened the door to the large-scale capital ship experience. There's nothing else quite like it right now. And even as a prototype for future gameplay, it's already providing stories and memories that no other ship can right now. I don't use it every day, but when I do, I remember why I got into this game in the first place. The promise, the dream of Star Citizen, that's what the Idris seems to represent to me. But I'm more interested in hearing about your experiences with the Idris, either as a crew member or someone who has come up against the Idris or just seen it in passing. What are the stories that have been generated by the Idris being in game for you guys? Let me know down in the comments below. I read every single one of them and I'm genuinely interested to hear what you guys have seen. As always, if you found yourself enjoying the video, found it useful, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does mean the world to me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.